One. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the Marketing and Tech Training. I am one of your hosts, the bald guy in front of the Mandalorian ship. For those of you that don't have Disney Plus yet, I'm ashamed of all of you. Go get Mandalorian and spend way too much time watching that in the next little bit. We have a very special event today. As many of you know, we've been talking with and working with and created a relationship with a new vendor called Real Scout. Jamie, we met them, was it 2 years ago on the marketing forum? We had Andrew out, and so Andrew Flack, go ahead.
They're in Park City here.
Yeah, so they're co-founder and president, Andrew Flagner, and we kind of connected there and kind of been working on vetting them as a tool for the last while. We're very, very, very pleased to be joined by Bart Marchione today. Bart runs a team for new brokerages that are onboarding Real Scout. So we kind of have the source of all knowledge, even though Bart's going to say, don't say that, don't say that. But in terms of the many times that I've talked with him over email or whatever else, Zoom calls, he and his team have been absolutely fabulous as we bring on this new tool. So just to kind of give you a little bit of an idea of what we're going to cover today, in that email that we sent out, Bart sort of listed on the bullet points on some of the things that we're going to do, getting set up for searches, making sure that you have your profile created, what the tool is all about, those kinds of things. And then we'll have plenty of time for questions here at the end. I want to preface that by saying there will be more questions than we have time for today. That's just the way it is, right? You get a new platform. There's lots of things that we wish we knew and lots of things that we're not quite sure how the platform answers certain questions. Stay with us. This is going to be an ongoing critical part of our technology stack. So we will have repeated trainings on Real Scout, over the next year or so as we really roll this out, because in terms of the efficacy of this platform, the more we use this, the better it gets for us. And so this is something that we really want everybody engaged in and really paying attention to. And so with that, I'm going to introduce Bart Marchione. Bart, you have the mic.
All right. Cool. Thank you so much for the great intro, Joe. Really appreciate it. And I'm delighted to be here with you folks. So thank you for having me. I live on the East Coast, but I do have a connection to Utah. Actually, I lived in Ogden for a couple of years. So in fact, I still own a home up there, and it's a rental property for me. So Utah is a little near and dear to my heart. So
if you ever need any help with that, Mike's your man. Mike Mondaro will take care of any of your Ogden needs.
That rental property has been the easiest rental property for me to deal with. The folks in Utah are just so nice and caring and loving, and they've really cared for my house over the years. So I appreciate that. Let me go ahead and share my screen. We'll get into the presentation today. All right, if you can see my screen and hear my voice, just give me a thumbs up. Oh, all right, cool. All right, thanks so much, folks. All right, let's get into it. So, yeah, just a little bit of background on me. My name is Bart Marchione. I'm the VP of Brokerage Relationships here at Real Scout. I'm also the lead product trainer. So I'm actually responsible for leading the team that helps all new agents like you get set up on our platform effectively. And I was actually the first employee here at Real Scout. So I'm on the founding team and been with the company since the beginning. We're a company founded by real estate agents for real estate agents. Yeah, in fact, my background was I was a realtor for 10 years prior to helping start Real Scout. So I've been in your shoes and I can relate to all the joys and challenges of being an agent. So anyway, with that background out of the way, let's get into the agenda for today, folks. So we're going to start out with an explanation of what Real Scout is. Maybe you've heard some rumblings from Joe or your leadership team, but I'll give you a complete explanation of what it is and how it fits into your business, kind of the why about using this new technology. And then I'll give you a demo of what the experience is like for your clients on the platform. That's the most visible part of the platform, right? You're going to want to see what they're experiencing. And if you like that, I'll show you how to add your clients using the agent dashboard. Very easy. And then we'll wrap up with how you can get more help and contact us if you need it. Okay? So with that, let's jump right in. Real Scout's on a mission to rebuild the way that you collaborate with your clients. So first and foremost, Real Scout is a safe haven for collaboration. It's a search platform and listing alert system that helps your clients find the perfect home faster. So it's a private platform. You invite your clients to use it, and they're going to be able to look at listings, provide feedback, request showings. The whole system is branded to you. That means it has your picture and your contact information all over it. So it's like a private version of one of those national search portals. So it's, again, a collaboration platform. Now, the best part is number two, as you enter your buyers into the system, you'll get complete visibility and insights into what they're doing on the platform. So you'll know their preferences, what's important to them about their home search. Again, helping you help them find the perfect home more effectively. And then number three, as everybody at your company adds all their buyers to the system, you'll get insights into all that buyer activity. And you can use that information to build seller confidence, for example, to help you win and sell listings more effectively. So you'll be able to understand neighborhood dynamics. You'll be able to see how a listing might perform on the market, and also support your on-market sellers. So I'll show you exactly how all that works. But the whole system is designed to help you close more transactions. Okay. So that's how we measure our success at Real Scout, by the way, is your success. Every time a home is sold on the platform, we hang up one of these postcards to remind ourselves that we're here to help you grow your business. And we really expect to do that for you folks too. Okay, so let's dig into the first part of the equation here, which is the safe haven for collaboration. And an easy way to describe that is to show you the home buying client lifecycle. You know, NAR says it takes about 20 weeks for the average client to find their perfect home. You know, at the beginning of the process, before they've chosen an agent to work with, we all know that they're out there on the internet shopping anonymously, right? Husband and wife decide to buy a house. They say, honey, what do we do? I don't know, Google it. And they end up on one of the national search portals, Zillow, Redfin, Trulia maybe, right? I call them the three-headed monster because love them or hate them, that's where a lot of the consumers are, right? Because those sites spend millions of dollars driving traffic to their websites, only to turn around and sell leads back to agents, don't they? I know, it's a very frustrating process. But it doesn't matter if you buy leads through one of those sites or you do lead generation in a more traditional fashion, like sphere of influence or open houses. The next step in the process is for a consumer to choose an agent to work with and help them find that home. That's the longest part of the process, right? About 11 weeks or so. But that's when you as an agent are nurturing and converting leads into clients and clients into transactions, right? And so that's what Real Scout did. We put together that platform to help give you a safe environment for them to do that. And by the way, our system has a direct connection to the MLS that you belong to. So we have all the properties, the properties your clients will see, for example, on the site are ones they can actually buy, as opposed to maybe old, outdated information they might find on other sites. And of course, once they find a home, there's all kinds of tools that you have to help them close the transaction and move in. Okay, so you can see Real Scout is squarely in the center of the client life cycle here. We're all about lead conversion, not lead generation. Okay, we're going to help you convert the leads you're already generating at a greater rate. Okay, and I'm going to show you how. But when I ask agents all across the country, hey, what do you use to send listing alerts to your clients now? They usually tell me the MLS. I bet you do that too, right? And yeah, sure, the MLS is great for putting listings on the market and checking inventory, running reports and so forth. But the client experience on the MLS kind of falls short. Never really was designed for that. So I'll tell you, when you get a new leader client, instead of putting them in the MLS, let's try using Real Scout instead. All right, you're going to get better results. And let's show you how. I'm going to give you a demo of the experience that your clients will have on the platform. So again, you're going to get a new lead, you put them into Real Scout, you're going to set them up with a search based on the same criteria that you normally would use through the MLS. And our system will send beautiful listing alerts to your clients that look like this. All right, here's an actual email that was sent to me as a test client. It's got a couple properties in Salt Lake there, Cottonwood Heights, happens to be referring to, big pretty pictures, all the info you'd expect to see. And as I said, the whole system is branded to you. Well, in this case, it's our fictitious agent, Bobby Broker. All right, but there's your branding. All right, but what's really interesting about this email is this conversational introduction that was automatically written by our system on your behalf. This one, for example, says, hi, Bart, here are some homes you might like. Situated on a cul-de-sac, 2970 East Catlin Court has a view of the mountains, and it features a formal dining room, hardwood floors, and a gourmet second kitchen. Situated on a cul-de-sac, 3608 East Crest Mount Circle is located near the golf course, and it features natural lighting, granite countertops, and a gourmet kitchen. So our system has picked out these interesting characteristics of the home and highlighted them here based on what's important to your client. Yeah, based on their preferences. I'll tell you how we figured that out in just a moment. But because these emails are tailored to them, yeah, it gets them to click on it. That's the whole point, right? To get them to click through. And in fact, they do. Our email alerts get 10 times greater click-through rates than typical real estate emails. So I think you're gonna get better results if you send your clients emails like this than perhaps do something else. So I'll tell you what, let's pretend we're the client. We just got this email from our agent, Bobby Broker, and we wanna see the details. I can click on the photo, the address, or the details button, and it's gonna automatically log me into the Real Scout site. Now, first thing you notice, it's a full screen browser experience designed to look like one of the national search portals. But as I said, this one's yours, your picture, your contact info, and your branding. Now, when the clients come to the site, we want them to do, well, 3 things. Get the info they came for, provide some feedback, and make decisions about these listings. So of course, photos are a great way to get the info they came for. Click on it, brings up what we call our lightbox view here. And you can see there are 57 photos of the property online. And I can go through one by one if I want to. But you'll notice at the top of the screen, we've categorized every room of the home. So if the client wants to see a picture of the kitchen, well, they just click on kitchen. How about that? Or see what the dining room's like. Okay, bedrooms, bathrooms, living rooms, other rooms of the home. Isn't that cool? So our system is doing this automatically through artificial intelligence. Doesn't matter if the listing agent might have labeled the photo. Yeah, we're automatically categorizing these based on what we call computer vision. We developed the technology. So it just makes it easier for your clients to find the info that they're looking for. All right, now on this listing detail page, there's lots of interactivity, ways that they can interact with you. And we just point out a few of them. On the right-hand side, we ask them about which characteristics of the home they like or dislike. And I say, I like the style. I'm not really a fan of the kitchen though. It's got good schools and I do like that view. And then we ask about the specific features of the home, such as central air conditioning and double ovens and full basements and granite countertops, and even being near things like golf courses and parks and supermarkets and restaurants. Yeah, so we can start to identify homes that have more of the things that they like or is near things that they like. And in fact, these characteristics here customize those emails that are sent out that I showed you earlier, right? So it makes it a personalized experience. Speaking of being near things, on the left here is where the property is on a map, and the client can put in their own points of interest, and we can calculate how long it'll take to get from these homes to their favorite locations. So in this case, you can see how long it would take to drive, for example, to Salt Lake Airport, or even have my child bike to school, 13 minutes. Yeah, so you can put in different types of commutes, public transit, walking, biking, driving during rush hour. It's pretty cool. Just makes it more, again, relevant specifically to them, personalized. Okay, let me go back up to the top here. On the right-hand side, they can, of course, send you messages like feedback, like, I like this one. Oops, there we go. Send you a quick message, and we're gonna shoot that right off to you so you can answer their question. They can even schedule a showing. Let's go see it. Right, and even suggest a date. How about tomorrow? Now you have a showing request in your inbox. Okay, so we're gonna make sure you get those to your email right away. We can also text notify you about them. And if you have one of our mobile apps, we'll send you a push notification. So you won't miss an opportunity to communicate with one of your clients. Okay, now the third thing is making decisions about these listings. So we ask the client at the top of the screen, tell Bobby Broker what you think. And they can say, I'm interested or I'm not. And if they're interested, well, then it kind of puts it on a short list. All right, then they're keeping track of it. We'll send them price change notifications, status changes, even upcoming open houses. All right, now they can even rate homes. That's a 4-star property. Okay, so now if the client doesn't do all those things on the site, that's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. But the more they do, the smarter the system becomes and the more info you will have about what's important to your client. Okay, now on the left here, I mentioned everything comes right from the MLS. So there's the public description. Here's some basic characteristics of the home, source of the listing, and all the details about it. So interior, exterior, even nearby schools and the listing history right here. And then, they get all the details that they need about the property. At the bottom is the disclaimer here from WFRMLS. Okay. So that's just one listing, folks. Of course, they can look for other properties. They click on search on the left-hand side, and then look at homes on a map, just like they would on any other real estate search site, right? And they can put in a city, a zip code, a neighborhood. I mean, they can type in something as general as Salt Lake, and it'll pop up here on the right. Select it from the list. There we go, Salt Lake City. That's going to show the boundary for the whole entire city here. Man, my computer tends to slow down when I'm running Zoom at the same time. Okay.
We've never had any issues like that ourselves, Bart. Nobody here ever has bandwidth issues.
And I have pretty good internet speed here in my home, but yeah, when two things are running together, it tends to slow down. So there's a boundary for Salt Lake. But you know what? The clients can even put in individual school names. So for example, if they want to put in Butler Middle School to see what types of homes go to that particular school, if my kids want to, get my kids into that school, I type in a school name. All right, there it pops up, select it from the list. And again, it's going to take a second here to recalculate the boundary, but there's the actual attendance zone for Butler Middle School. Wow, all the homes that fall within it. Pretty cool. Yeah, so a client can see if a home might go to a particular school. And might be saying, well, where'd you get that info? Because listing agents don't always put the school that a home goes to. Yeah, that's right. So we went out and purchased a database of school attendance boundaries. It comes from a company called Pitney Bowes. You might have heard of them. They are a nationwide geographic data company. So it's a third-party data source that's updated quarterly. So buyers should always verify, right? Not guaranteed. But it's a great way to see if a home might go to a particular school. Now the client can filter the results here by some basic criteria. They can save their search if they want to. Doesn't matter if they've saved the search or if you've created the search for them. They're all here on the left-hand side under my searches. And you can see Bobby Broker has created a search for me called Cottonwood Luxury Homes. All right, and they can go through the details here by list view, photo view. All right, and as they're going through these properties, we give them a cool way that they can actually compare some of the homes that they might like. Yeah, see the button right underneath the price there? They can click that, and it puts the home into this column format, and they can select some more listings to compare, such as the homes that they're interested in, or their matches, or their recently viewed properties. So let's select some of the ones we're interested in, and it keeps adding them to this list view here. And there we go. Now we're looking at 3 homes side by side. Pretty cool. But check this out. Since we're categorizing all the photos, we can put all the kitchens side by side. Living rooms, bathrooms side by side, bedrooms, outside shots, miscellaneous rooms, and the map. Isn't that cool? Yeah, this way, visual way to search. Clients love this kind of thing. They really get into it. And again, it's only available on Real Scout because we're automatically categorizing those photos. So yeah, your clients are going to love it. And so that's the basics of the client experience, folks. That's the point. Just set them up with a search, send them a bunch of homes. They're going to start interacting with it, sending you messages, comparing some properties, and hopefully you guys will get out and show some properties and make some offers. Okay. So that's the basics of the client experience. Just want to kind of highlight some of the reasons. Let me go to my slide deck here and talk about why consumers do prefer Real Scout over the MLS. Give you a little quick summary of all the things I just talked about. First and foremost, it's a familiar experience. We designed Real Scout to be similar to the national portals to make it an easy transition for them to come work with you on Real Scout. It's all personalized. Everything about it is geared towards their preferences and what's important to them. They can specify their interest level and rate homes. I mean, it's all photocentric. The whole thing is really visually engaging, and they can compare properties room by room. They can search for homes that go to specific schools. It's hard to do that on other sites in the MLS. They can easily message you, send you showing requests. I mean, the whole thing's designed to be a collaboration platform. You're working together to find that home. And the best part is you get complete visibility into what's important to the client. Okay, so clients really do prefer Real Scout, but so do agents. This is really cool. I just grabbed this screenshot off of Facebook the other day because somebody had posted in one of those groups, somebody had posted in one of those realtor groups asking what people use to send listings to their buyers. And all these Real Scout customers started chiming in, unsolicited, by the way, So Real Scout's amazing. I use them instead of our MLS. Real Scout's a 10 out of 10. It's what I use and value at my business. Yeah, and you should replace a legacy solution with Real Scout. So these agents love Real Scout, and I know you will too. You just need to give it a try, put some clients in, and you're going to start feeling the same way. So let's talk about your experience now on Real Scout. And that's the second part of the equation here. It's about putting your clients in, it's about creating those searches and getting them interacting with the platform. Okay. All right. So I did see a question come in. So far, it seems to be buyer-centric. Yes, Michael, it is buyer-centric, but the whole point is that we collect that buyer data, and I'm going to show you how you can win and sell listings more effectively using that data. So it's all about getting the buyers into the platform first. The first step in the equation is to get the buyers into the platform. Okay, so we're going to start with that, and I will get to the listing agent stuff, I promise, to show you how you can win and sell more listings using Real Scout. So I'm going to jump into the agent.
Mark, feel free to just go ahead and run your presentation too, and then we'll circle back around. I'll monitor the questions, and then we'll go back around and pick them all at the end.
Fair enough, Joe. Sounds good. All right. So we're going to talk about your experience on Real Scout now, okay? It's all through the agent dashboard. Now, earlier this week, we sent you an email that said BHHS Utah invites you to use Real Scout. So hopefully you got that email. If you didn't, you can reach out to Joe or your leadership team and someone can resend you the welcome email. But it was very simple to set up your account. There's a big orange button. You just click that, verify your contact info, upload a photo so it's on your account, and then you're into your account here, okay? Very simple process. So go ahead and activate your account if you haven't done it already. And once you're into your account, you can start adding clients, creating searches, keeping track of their activity, and leveraging that buyer data to win and sell listings more effectively. So I'll show you how to add your clients in just a moment, but I wanted to show you what you're looking at here on your screen. Now your dashboard will look a little bit different than this one. This is our demo account, and I have logged in as Bobby Broker today. I can see how many active clients he has and emails open, homes viewed, that sort of thing. Now all the details about that are in the center of the screen in this live feed. Now this is a chronological history of everything going on in your account. So we track all different kinds of information about your client's activity. Let me just point out a few of them. So if I scroll down here, you can see these orange envelope icons. It means that a client opened up one of your emails. All right, so you can click on the link to open the email in a new tab, and it tells you that this is a snapshot of the email that was sent to the client. The blue eyeball means that the client viewed a property, right? They clicked on the email to look at the details on Real Scout. A little further down, you see these green thumbs up. Remember the thumbs up button? That means they're interested in the property, okay? It shows you the rating and what they like and don't like about it. The red thumbs down means the client's not interested in a property. Also good information, right? To know the ones that are not going to be moving forward with. Now, when the clients start communicating with you, all the showing requests and messages will be here on the right side of the screen under client conversations. And you can see Bobby's client Bart wants to go see this property. So you can click on it and it brings you to the messaging interface, which is very simple. It's familiar. It's like Facebook Messenger or LinkedIn Messenger or iMessage on your phone. And you can type a quick message back to your client, say, let's go, and send a message. All right. Oh, that's a different client. There we go. So you can type a message back. Okay. And am I not logged in? What's going on here? Let me refresh my screen here, folks. There we go. All right, so you can even attach properties to a message. So it's very simple to send messages back and forth to your client. So if you want to say, hey, let's take a look at this home too, you can do that as well. All right, you can also get these messages on your phone, as I mentioned earlier. And by the way, you know, you're looking at Real Scout right now on a computer, but we also do have mobile apps. So if you prefer to use it on your phone, we have an app for you, the agent, to add clients and keep track of their activity and communicate with them. And we have another app, a separate app for your clients to view properties and, you know, save, favorite them and so forth. Okay, so they're not required. The apps are optional, but if you prefer that, that's great. Go to your app store, iPhone or Android, and you can download the apps. All right. All right, so now back here on the dashboard, I want to show you how to add clients and talk about that. You know, we have lots of ways that we can help you get your clients into Real Scout. We can help you import lists. We can connect Real Scout to other third-party technologies. But I'll tell you what, folks, the easiest way to get results with Real Scout quickly is to simply add the people you meet to the system as you meet them. So at the top of every screen is this big orange button to add a client. So we can add any type of client, buyer, seller. In this example, let's show you how to add a buyer. So let's say I did an open house this past weekend. I know it might be difficult with COVID and so forth, but let's assume we did an open house and I met somebody named Harry Homebuyer. And Harry's email address is harry@homebuyer.com. It does say email separated by comma. So if Harry was shopping for a home with his wife, Mary, I can put them both in and they'll both get copies of the listing alert. You might want to change the first name to Harry and Mary, just so it's addressed properly. Phone number and source are not required. You can just click next or put something in there if you want. Now it asks me to add their first email alert. And there are two types of alerts. So I can create a listing alert, right? That's going to send new listings to a client, usually used for your buyers. You can also create a market activity alert. All right, this is going to send neighborhood updates about all the buyer demand in their neighborhood, typically used for your sphere of influence or sellers. Let's start with the listing alert, and we'll go back and show you how to add a market alert in just a moment. So I click next, and then it says, who is going to set up the alert? I can set the alert up myself, which we do recommend, or I can send an email invitation to have the client set up their own alert. Now, if you don't know much about their criteria, sure, you can choose that, include a nice custom message here if you want to. But I do recommend that you create the search for the client, okay? And now it says select your data feed and your property class. So there's a list here. Now, depending on which MLS you have access to, it'll be in this list. All right, so I know we have some folks who are members of Park City MLS on today's call. We also have people who are members of WFR MLS, and they're all on this list here, okay? So it just depends on which MLS you belong to. If you belong to both, they'll be in the list, one or the other, if it's just that one. Okay, so within each data feed, we have different property classes. Okay, so there's residential, commercial, farm, land, multifamily, even leases. So if someone's looking to rent a property, you could use Real Scout for that as well. So you can send properties from both MLSs. There is a cross MLS search here, which would only allow you to send or set up searches with basic criteria. Do you see that? It says cross MLS basic criteria. So that's one limitation of those searches. Another limitation of that search or issue with that search is that, from what I understand, many agents put their listings into both MLSs. So unfortunately, our system would end up showing duplicates because I understand that's pretty common. So honestly, doing a cross MLS search is probably not the best idea. I would focus on the area in which the client is searching and use that MLS as an advanced search. Okay, that's my tip. You can try both ways if you like it. You can do it, but I would select an individual MLS and choose an advanced search. Okay, so I'm going to create a listing alert for WFR MLS residential properties. Now I get a map on the left and the criteria on the right. So I can begin to construct the search. Now these are the filters, folks. They're going to pick and choose the properties. So I can choose status here, and of course there's active. There's all the different statuses that come right from your MLS. So different types, pending and sold, even the off-market statuses. So if they're looking to buy a home, of course you choose active. You could actually select sold properties. Maybe you want to send a listing alert for homes that go or that just recently sold in an area. So that's a way to do it as well. But I just, again, Harry and Mary are looking to buy a home. I'm going to choose active. Property type, just choose single family or whatever they're looking for. List price, give it a price, beds, baths, square feet, lot size. You know how to do that. It's pretty simple. You can see as I enter these criteria, the fields turn green to let me know those are the ones that are modifying my search at a glance. So let's talk about locations though, because there are 3 ways to add locations to a search. First way is this section called locations. Now these are the fields you're familiar with right from the MLS. City, area, county, zip code. Okay, so you can type in something as general as, Salt Lake City, and it's going to pop up. I select it from the list. I could even put in North Salt Lake. Okay, whatever you like. You can keep adding as many locations as you want. Just type them in, select them from a list. Okay, that's easy. That's the first way. The second way is this section here called school and location boundaries. Now, remember earlier I told you we have a third-party database from Pitney Bowes of all the school attendance boundaries? Yeah, that field right here is searching that database. So this is completely independent of the MLS-based locations. Doesn't make a difference what the listing agent might have said a school goes to or a home goes to. So for example, I could put that same school in, Butler Middle is our example earlier, and it's going to pop up here in the list, Butler Middle, and there again is the boundary of the school and the homes that fall within it. Okay, so a great way to send listings to your clients when they want to get their kids into a specific school. You can even put multiple schools, elementary and high schools, and see what the overlapping areas are, for example. Okay, so that's the second way. So play around with that with your favorite school. Now, the third way is to simply draw on the map yourself. You can move it around, you can zoom it around with these controls on the left. If it's not big enough, I can zoom it in to full screen here and really get specific, okay? Now, I can use these icons on the left to draw shapes, polygons, okay? You just put a polygon here. All right, and there's all the homes in that particular shape. What's really cool is I can put multiple shapes on the same map. Maybe I want to put a square around here, okay? Or maybe a radius over here. Okay, so sometimes a client will say, hey, I want to live here, but I'd also consider over there. So that's how you would do that. All right, if you need to make changes, you can click the edit icon on the left and you can change the size of your shape, or you can just delete it all together by clicking the trash can and then click on a feature to remove, click on a feature to remove. And you have to be sure to save your map changes, folks. Just go ahead and click save, and it's going to focus in on that remaining shape there, okay? All right, so that's how you add locations. All right, and then there's all kinds of other filters on this page. Oh, and by the way, there's another section called schools right below it. Now, these filters are based on whatever the listing agent specified. So it comes right from the MLS. So I don't know about your area, but a lot of times listing agents don't put the actual school that a home goes to. They may put the district, but not the school. So just be careful with this. If you put a school in, and you might miss a home if they haven't specified it. That's why we give you this third-party database to search for homes that go to specific schools. There's more features down here and amenities and so forth on the page. Now, if you don't see a field you need, click on the add or remove search options at the bottom, and you can see every single field that's in the MLS. Okay, so I can scroll through, or I can type a keyword like, I don't know, fireplaces. I don't know how many fireplaces there are. And it's at the bottom of the page here. Okay, so you can add any field you like. Now it's calculating results real time at the top of the screen here. And when you're happy with the number, just go ahead and click Save to Client in the upper right corner, and it's gonna lock the changes in and set this alert in motion. So give it a name. I like to call it Harry and Mary's Dream Homes, something like that. Alert schedule is gonna determine how frequently the system sends new listings to the client. So the default in this list here is daily. That's an automatic schedule, which means every morning we'll send an email to your client with all the homes that came on the market yesterday. Now, if that once you want that to be a PM schedule, sure, no problem. Or uncheck certain days and maybe send a weekly search that goes out on Tuesdays and Thursdays, just Thursdays, whatever. It's up to you, okay? Now, if that's not fast enough, there's ASAP, which is also an automatic schedule, which means we're going to send an email to your client every time a listing comes on the market, right? One email per listing. Now, since it's automatic, if you want to see what they get at the same time, you can send a copy to yourself. All right. There's also another option called hand-picked, folks. Now, this is a manual mode, which means we don't notify the client about new listings. We notify you that there are new listings to approve for your client. So you'd be required to come into Real Scout and decide whether to send it or not. Okay. So there's also a monthly schedule here, which would be great for sending other types of properties on a more less frequent basis. Let's go back to daily here. There's a couple other options I want to show you. Remember that conversational introduction to the email? Well, if you don't like it, don't think it sounds like you, that's fine. You can turn it off. You can suppress the natural language intro. This is really cool too. Send open house reminder before each weekend. We're going to, of course, send Harry all the properties that match their search, but we'll also send them an email on Friday that tells them which of their matches are open that weekend. So that's pretty cool. All right. So that's how you set up the settings. Go ahead and click Save in the upper right corner. It's going to take us to the list of results. And it's going to ask us, what should we do with the properties that match the search right now? Right? Because there's always that decision. There's homes that are on the market now and there's ones that are going to come on the market in the future. So it's going to ask us, what should we do with the homes that match today? So again, it's recalculating. Okay, hang on a second. Also very subject to my Zoom slowdown, this search recalculation. Let me refresh here, see if it pops up. There we go. So it says, what should we do now with all these unsent listings? And so you could send them all with or without a custom message here, but you might want to say, no, 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 do not send. I want to pick and choose them myself. So now they're sitting in this queue right here. There's also sent and trash. So it's waiting for us to decide what to do with them because they were all listed before the search was created, right? So I need to, let's say the client said, I don't like these two homes. No problem. I can click the checkbox next to the properties. Now I get options to send or trash them. So I'll click trash and it says these will never be sent to Harry. That's fine. Now those two properties are going to move over here to the trash can, and I'll have 157 to review. Okay, so hopefully your search has a little extra, I'm sorry, a few less homes to review. Up to you. There we go. All right, so now I can continue going through the list here. You know, if I want to see the details, I can click on it, and it's going to bring up the agent view of this property. All right, keep in mind, I'm logged in as an agent, so I'm going to see different things than the client would see here. All right, such as who the listing agent is and some private information. All right, so I can view on the right here what the listing looks like for the home buyer, the public view of the listing. I can share it, view my buyers, print the listing with or without some agent remarks. I can see all the details here. I can share it with other clients. You know, if I'm going through this list for Harry, but I realize, wow, this would be a great client for my, a great property for my client Joe, I can send him a quick message. You would love this, and send it to him as well. So very easy to share properties. There's the listing agent who has the property listed. There's where it is on a map. There's the nearby schools and the listing history. There's just a couple of pieces of private details here. Unfortunately, WFRMLS doesn't allow us to show the private remarks or showing instructions, unfortunately. So we have just the basic kind of public view information here. So this is all the IDX information. Okay, so I can take a look at this property. I can go to the next one. I can say, yeah, let me select this one as well. Just keep going through it from this view, or just close it and go back to the list and select them from here, or just select all, okay? Keep in mind there are 25 listings per page, so I'd have to click the next page to continue selecting the next 25. And keep in mind, by the way, folks, there are only 25 of these blue pins on the map at any given time. So when it reloads here, the 25 have shifted around. So I can select the next 25 and then click the button send 50, for example, and it gives me that same pop-up. So if this is the first time you're communicating with a client, I would definitely include a nice custom message. Hi, Harry, it was nice to meet you. You know, here are the properties we talked about, blah, 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 send now. Okay, there you go. Now they've got those in their inbox. And we're kind of back at the beginning of the demo, right? Where they get the email. And by the way, when they click on one of those listings, they're automatically logged into your RealScout account. There's no registration process for the client. You've already added them. Okay, so we want to make it as easy as possible for them to get searching with you. All right, so that's how easy it is to add clients and either create the search for them or send them an email to set up their own search. Now we want to keep track of what they're doing, right? So I can click clients on the left, and I can see all the clients I'm adding to the system right here. And I can easily search this list by typing in a name. There's Harry. Okay. I can also sort it by any of these column headers, for example. See who's viewing the most homes or who's interested in the most homes. That's me, by the way. In the last 10 days, I can change this to 30 days if I want to, and see who's opening the most emails. All right, that's John. But that's interesting. Look at that. John has gotten 22 emails this month, but has not looked at a single listing. Maybe I should give John a call, find out what's going on. Okay, so use this information to figure out who I should be contacting in my database. Let's take a look at my contact record though. Got lots of great things to look at. All right, each client page looks the same. There are 4 tabs: email alerts, client profile, recent activity, and client details. Now under the listing alerts section here, I can see all the listing alerts that are set up. And by the way, I can create as many listing alerts for a client as I want. So if I created one for, single family homes, I can come back and create another one for multifamily properties later, list condos, whatever. They can do as many searches as you want. They can create their own searches. They'll all be under listing alerts here. I can view the results, edit the criteria, change the frequency right from here. Right below are the market activity alerts, which I'll show you in just a moment. And then, by the way, I mentioned we always send price changes and status changes automatically. If you don't want to do that, you can uncheck that box here at the bottom. Client profile, the next tab over, allows you to personalize their home search for them. So these are the feature preferences that I was showing you folks, like the thumbs up on the view, or the I don't like the price, or whatever, or I like granite countertops and being near supermarkets and so forth. So this will all fill in automatically as the client clicks on those things, but you could add some of them yourself. So if you know, for example, the client likes granite countertops, you could type it in and click like, and it'll go down the list here. So the key thing to understand about these folks is they will not exclude any homes from their search. It's all about personalizing and customizing those emails that are sent. Okay? Makes it more interesting and relevant for them to search on Real Scout with you. You can pre-populate some of their commute locations if you like. Now the recent activity tab, the next one over here, this is my favorite tab because you get all the details about this specific client's activity on Real Scout, such as the email activity. Did they get my email? Did they open it? When did they open it? And you can see the actual email if you want to click on the link, and it'll show you a preview of what the client got. On the right, you'll see a visual representation of where the client is searching. So yours would already be zoomed into Utah. Mine's all over the map here, all over the country, so to speak. So you can see the the blue pins are the ones they're viewing. The red hearts are the ones that they love. And if they start popping up in a different area, well, maybe I should reach out to the client and find out if their search has changed. Okay. Right below it, you'll see the list of homes that the client is viewing. Right? The list of homes the client's interested in. Right? The ones that they click the green thumbs up button on. The ones they're not interested in, right? The red thumbs down button. And finally, the ones they're giving you feedback on, whether they like the view, but not the neighborhood. Okay, so use this information to really help your client get into that perfect home more effectively. Last tab over here, client details. This is where you can add addresses, phone numbers, notes about the client, things like that. Okay, so that's the basics of, again, adding clients, creating searches, and keeping track of their activity. And that, again, is the first step of the equation. We need you all to add your buyers into the system so that we can collect and gather that buyer data, because that is going to help you win and sell listings more effectively. So now I'll go back to my little slideshow here and show you, again, the third part of the equation, which is getting insights into all the buyer activity on Real Scout. Again, it's through your agent dashboard. And it's all about understanding that buyer demand data. Okay, so for someone who earlier, Michael, who asked about, is this a buyer tool or a seller tool? This is the section for you, my man. All right, so it's all about 3 steps for working with sellers on Real Scout. Step 1, engage your sphere with market alerts. Now, these are brand new alerts, folks, that we're just introducing, but they're for people at the top of your funnel. Again, your sphere of influence could be a list of potential sellers, or maybe your neighborhood farm. Step 2, build seller confidence with test the market. So when you get a new seller prospect and they call you up and say, come talk to me about selling my home, you can go into your listing presentation with our new test the market report that's going to help you show them how their listing might perform if they put it on the market and how many buyers would match, help them dial in the right price for their listing. Step 3 is support your sellers with the new My Listings dashboard to give you real-time analytics about how your listing is performing on Real Scout. So let's go through each one of these. I'm going to start with step 1 here, engaging your sphere, and then I go back to our dashboard, okay? Now, there are 2 ways to create market alerts for somebody. I showed you earlier, you can do it when you're adding a client. You can also just get to it by clicking market alerts on the left. But let's say we met a seller or somebody in our sphere of influence who's thinking of selling their home. I want to add them to the database. Maybe it's Sally Home Seller, and our email address is sally@seller.com. And I'm going to click next. And again, it shows me or asks me to create their first email alert, listing alert, or market activity alert. In this case, I'm going to choose market activity. Click the blue button, and it takes me to a page where it asks me to select a market or draw a boundary to get a real-time pulse of the home buyer demand in a marketplace. So I can put in a location, again, like, I don't know, Salt Lake, And it's going to pop up. I can select it from the list. It's going to show me the boundary. Now, if I want to, hone in on the market demand for a specific price range of home, I can put in a price range here. So maybe a minimum of $500,000 if I want to look at the expensive homes, or under $500,000 if I want to look at the least expensive homes. I can even clear the shape and draw my own shape. Now, maybe I want to get a little better idea of how this whole area is doing and draw on the map. Okay, I can make a big square here, for example, and then I can click the blue button at the bottom to preview the market activity. So it's going into our system to see how many buyers are searching for homes in this area, and you can see the market activity statistics. There are 238 active buyers right now searching for homes with their agent on Real Scout. Okay, not in the entire marketplace. This is just buyers on Real Scout, but they're pretty active, right? Over 3,500 interactions with listings on Real Scout. Okay, so that's pretty neat. And what we're showing right below here is what's called a heat map, folks. It shows the relative popularity of different neighborhoods and areas around this geographic shape. So I can zoom in or out and see the specific hotspots where all the people are searching. And then right below it, I can see how this demand has changed over time, which is pretty cool as well. And again, you can show this to a potential seller and say, yeah, there is sufficient demand to put your home on the market. Right below that, you'll see the top viewed listings, okay, the ones that are most popular, and the recently sold listings and the newest listings in that area. So the best part about this is I can save this as a market alert for my clients. So I can just give it Salt Lake area, whatever, metro area. And then my client, Sally's home seller, is already selected. I can add more people to it if I want to. In fact, I can send this alert up to 25 different people at a time. Okay, then I select a schedule. So I can send it to them on a bi-weekly, monthly, or quarterly basis, or manually whenever I want. I'll just choose monthly and option to send it now and click save. Boom, there you go. Now this alert has been added to Sally's account, and she's going to get a nice email showing her the home buyer demand in her neighborhood, and keep her nurtured and up to date, right? So she'll call you eventually and say, hey, come help me, talk to me about selling my home. All right, so this is all about nurturing your potential sellers. All right, so now it's on to step 2, which is all about building seller confidence. So if Sally calls you up and says, come on over to my house, I want to talk to you about selling my home, we're going to go back to our agent dashboard. On the left, we have listing tools. We'll click on that and you see my listings, test the market, and disclosures. So I'm going to click test the market. So let's say I'm going to a listing appointment this weekend, folks. 3751 Blackstone Drive in Park City. All right. Now, this is a condo. It's a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath. And I think the price would be around $1 million. But let's test the market and find out. I'm going to click generate. Again, it's going to go into our system, look at all that buyer demand data to see how this listing might perform. So there's where it is on a map. Here's the target address, target price. And then right below it is what we call a matched buyers pricing calculator. All right, this is going to show me how many buyers match at different price ranges. So this dark blue bar shows me that at a target price of $1 million, there are currently 14 buyers who might be interested in the property like this one. But if I were to drop the price by 5%, there'd be 14% more buyers. Conversely, if I raise the price by 5%, there would be 21% less buyers. Okay, you can change that to 2% or 10% increment if you want to, but this is going to help you and the potential seller dial in the perfect price for their listing to attract the most amount of buyers. You can export this as a PDF, by the way. So if you click on that, it's going to give you a nice printable version that you can bring into your listing presentation with you. Nice seller-focused report here with some commentary and your branding. Okay, so that's pretty cool. You can print that out. Right below, you see the heat map here showing all the buyer demand and how that's changed over time. Okay, so again, use this information to build the seller confidence and say, this is the right time to put your home on the market. Okay, of course, you're going to go into the listing presentation with a CMA, and that's always important, right, to see what's been selling, but that's looking in the past. This is real-time home buyer demand as to what's happening right now on Real Scout. So you're going to stand out from the crowd with this new information. All right, so Now we're on to step 3. Let's say you win the listing. Okay, yes, sweet. All right, so now I can support my on-market sellers with the new My Listings dashboard. So let's go back to our dashboard. All right, and again, we're going to go to Listing Tools. On the left-hand side, I'm going to click on My Listings. Now we know which listings are yours on the MLS, and so you'll be able to see your active listings and you can claim them to unlock analytics. So you have to just click the blue button to claim your listing. Now I've already done that for the purposes of this demo. So you can see under My Listings here, there's Blackstone Drive. So I can click View Analytics, and it's going to give you the same detailed pop-up that you've seen before. But now there's a new button that says, or a tab that says Listing Analytics. So I can click that to see what's been happening with my listing. Now, there aren't too many buyers searching in this area, so there's only been 2 views of this property by one specific unique viewer, all right? But right below it, I can see the views of the property over time, and boy, when there's price changes and status changes, if it comes back on the market, for example, you'll see these views bump up and down as the different activity happens on the MLS. And then right below it, you'll see the feedback. Remember on the site, the clients can click, oh, I like the price, but I don't like the location or whatever. So you'll see all that right here as well. So you can share this with your seller and say, maybe there are some things we could tweak about our listing to make it more desirable, something like that. And then right below, you'll see the same matched buyers pricing calculator. So at this current list price of $989, there are 17 buyers who might be interested in the property, like this one. But if I were to lower the price, there'd be some more activity. Now, this would be great to take into your seller and maybe get a price reduction. You know, in the past, we'd walk into a listing and we'd say to our seller and say, you know, if I think we lower the price, you would get some more activity. Now you have data to back up your story, okay? And you can show them exactly how many more buyers would match if you drop the price. Below that, you see the same heat map and how that demand has changed over time for homes like this one. Okay, so again, it's all about nurturing your sphere of influence, winning a new listing when you get a presentation, going to a listing presentation, and supporting your on-market sellers with listing analytics. Okay, so again, all the buyer demand information that you're seeing here with these features, folks, is based on buyers searching on Real Scout with their agent. It's what we call high intent home buyer demand, meaning that they're actually shopping with their agent right now, right? These aren't tire kickers, looky-loos, random leads from the internet. These are actually home buyers searching with their agent. So you can see now why it's important that you all put your buyers into Real Scout, okay? Whether you're a listing agent or not, right? If you're a buyer's agent, great, put all your buyers in. If you're a listing agent, you're getting buyers, right, on your listings. Put them into Real Scout. The more demand information we have, the more useful and valuable these reports become. I hope you can see that. So that's the first step, folks. Add your buyers into the system. Now, I want to just wrap up with how we can help you do that. On the left-hand navigation bar, we have a link for support. So there's a link right there for help and tutorials. Go ahead and click on that. It's going to take you to our member support and learning center where you can get all the information you need about getting up to speed with Real Scout quickly. All right, I'll zoom in a bit here for you. All right, so there's getting started guides here. There's tutorials on all of our listing agent tools that I just went over with you. There's tutorials here on using Real Scout. These are all short video tutorials, folks, 2, 3, 4 minutes long that really give you the targeted information you need to get up to speed quickly. There's how-to guides, there's FAQs, there's even tutorials for your home buyers if they need help using the system. There's some resources here for you, okay? I wanted to point out here under Getting Started, folks, there is a way that we can help you get all of your clients into Real Scout. I mentioned it earlier, but we have a migration service, okay? We're happy to help you migrate all your clients and searches over to Real Scout. So click this button to choose your option, and then we zoom in a bit here for you. There are 2 options. Number 1, we can import your database. All right, maybe you have all your buyers in a spreadsheet, or you can export a CSV file from whatever system you're using. Just click this blue button, upload your list, and we'll be happy to import them for you and invite everybody to start searching with you. That's an easy way to do it. Option 2 is we can even transfer your existing searches. I know it's a pain in the butt switching from one technology to another. We want to make it easy for you. So depending on what system you're using, and if we can get access to the search criteria, click this button, tell us where those searches are, And one of our member success coaches will work with you one-on-one to transfer all of your search criteria over to Real Scout. So you don't have to lift a finger, okay? We wanna make it easy for you to get up and running with Real Scout quickly. All right. And last but not least, I'll tell you at the bottom of our member support and learning center here is our contact info. All right. So I know Joe said I'm the man in terms of the info, but I'm not the man for answering questions on an ongoing basis. Okay. We have a whole entire team for that. That's our member success team, folks. All right. So you can easily send them an email, support@realscout.com, or give them a call. All right. There's their phone number. Now they're out in the West Coast. So it's a 9 to 5 Pacific time, Monday through Friday. All right, so they're standing by to help you answer questions, provide support if you're having difficulties or just want to, double check your work. All right, we're here to help you. All right, and so yes, you can upload your sphere of influence or anybody else. I see there's lots of questions that have come in, and I know we're already running out of time. So Joe, maybe you want to aggregate the questions, and our team would be happy to answer them for everybody who asked something today. So I hope you got a lot out of that. Joe, you want to finish up?
Thanks so much, Bart. So I think what we're going to do, just to make sure that we, everyone that's got to run and operate your businesses here on a Friday, we'll go ahead and we'll pause the recording. And then Bart, if you got some extra time, we'll kind of roll through the Q&A on that. I appreciate your time today. For everyone that's on the call, this is the first layer of a very big onion, right? So we went through just sort of how you get in, how do you get your clients uploaded, how you get started. There's going to be a lot of questions in particular on the apps. And so maybe we start there. I've got probably 15 direct messages here, Bart, about how do I get the app. And so why don't you answer that one first? I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording. And then this will be available on the intranet and on the BHHS Learning channel on YouTube. So appreciate everyone's attendance today, but hang out here. We've got some great questions coming up.